Hey, you guys, I wanted to talk to you about things that have helped me after bariatric surgery. A lot of the things that have helped me, I haven't heard anyone mention on YouTube. So it just goes to show you that what you may need isn't the same as what someone else may need. But I think it's a good idea to have all the information that you possibly can to prepare because being prepared um, allows you to be more successful. All right, you guys. So, the number one thing that helped me is family. Make sure that you take the time to have a conversation with whomever you're living with or whomever is going to be helping you. Um, Make sure you have a conversation about what your nutritional needs are going to be, what your comfort needs are going to be. Make sure you talk about, where to pick up your prescriptions, when that's going to be done. You definitely want this process to be smooth and you want to be comfortable and but you also want your family to be knowledgeable and somewhat educated about what you can do and what you can't do. If you don't have someone to keep an eye on you, I would suggest that you talk to your doctor and they might consider keeping you in the hospital an extra day just to make sure that you're okay. But yeah, I'm not saying you're going to need like 24/7 supervision, but in case something goes wrong, it's good to have someone there, that can call 911 or whatever needs to be done. The second factor, a chase lounge or recliner. Yeah. So when I was in the hospital, I was pumped full of so much air that I was very uncomfortable and I couldn't lay flat. I was literally rocking around like this. So I spent a lot of time in the recliner next to the hospital bed because it's the only way I could get comfortable. And I've heard this from other people too. So after I left the hospital, I went to my cousin's house and she has a chase lounge. And that was very helpful because because it's a chase lounge, so it doesn't allow you to lay completely flat. It has built-in like back and neck support. So that was very helpful. Make sure you talk to your loved ones about having another option because you might not be able to lay in bed. It's good to at least have a comfortable seated option. Worst case scenario, you could rent a recliner. What really helped me with all of this gas that I had from being pumped full of all this air, walks. I know everybody says it, but it's very, very true. Walks. My cousin made sure that I was walking 2 times a day, and they weren't long walks. They weren't more than like 10 minutes. But yeah, just 2 walks a day helps with that. And also, she had an exercise ball, and I've included a link to one that's very similar to the one that she has. The exercise ball I can sit on it, I can kind of bounce on it. I found that the bouncing kind of helped to just like get the air out. It's kind of like manually burping a 300-pound woman. But it worked. It worked. So I included a link to one. This is not an affiliate link. I just chose this one because it says that it holds 2,000 pounds. The next thing that was a lifesaver for me was nightgowns and moo-moos, loose-fitting dresses. I didn't wear any pants for the first week out of surgery, and that was intentional. I did not want anything touching my incisions. I did not want to be uncomfortable because I didn't want to be irritated. So I included one thing you need to keep in mind is that looking cute isn't really a priority at this point, okay? Comfort is the number one thing we're going for here. So just to show you how incredibly unattractive some of these things are, I included a link to one of the nightgowns that I purchased at Walmart. And I included a link from Amazon to a moo-moo that looks very similar to one that I purchased at Walmart. But you know what? 6 weeks out of surgery, I'm still wearing them because they're comfortable. So those were great investments. Okay, so moving on. I brought my robe. I included a link just so that you can see what it looks like. It's not the exact same one, but it's very similar. It's the same color. It's waffle weave. It's lightweight. I had my surgery in August, so I was not going to wear like a fuzzy fleece robe or anything like that. But the robe helped to add modesty to my moo-moos, okay? Because I was not trying to put on a bra to go for a walk. So to add a little modesty, I just put a robe on top, and it worked great. And I also put flip-flops on. So I had my moo-moo on, throw on a robe, throw on some flip-flops, ready to go on a walk. Easy peasy. You can't care what the neighbors say. You just gotta get through it. Another thing that was helpful was a measuring cup. I'm really glad that I purchased one right before getting surgery because it made it very easy for me to keep track of my fluid intake. So this is a cheap one that I got at Walmart. I just included a link. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get anything for this. I just wanted to show you what I was using and, what worked for me. Measuring cups are especially helpful if you are a person who is accustomed to chugging water, because that's not a thing anymore. We can't do that anymore. But also, really, you're not the most clear-headed right after surgery, right? So it might be hard for you to remember, oh God, how much water did I drink? I don't know. So measuring cups are great. Another thing that helped me, overnight pads. I had heard that having surgery can bring upon your menstrual cycle, and I was ready for that, but I wasn't ready for my menstrual cycle times 10. I wasn't ready for that. So I would, in order to minimize any type of bending down, crouching, anything that could irritate your incision area, I would highly suggest you use pads instead of tampons. And so the overnight pads were the best way to go. They were very comfortable and they did their job. They're not attractive. This is not about looking cute. You just got to get through it. Another thing that helped me after surgery was an abdominal binder. And this is an interesting scenario because I had actually called my doctor's office and asked them if I needed to purchase an abdominal binder, and they told me no, you don't need one of those. But what they didn't know was that I went back to work 10 days after surgery. So, with that being said, no, I don't recommend going back 10 days after surgery, but if you have to, make sure you get a binder. My first day back, I didn't have one, and I have a desk job, so I'm, sitting at my desk, and by the end of the day, my back starts to hurt so bad, and I just get like pain radiating down my back, and then my stomach starts to hurt, and I realized that my inability to engage my stomach muscles was contributing to my back pain, and then my back was giving out, and I had to try and engage my core, but I couldn't. So that was not fun, not at all. So after wearing the binder for the rest of that week, I felt a lot better. It was a lot easier for me to sit up for extended periods of time. I had not practiced sitting up for extended periods of time because when you're recovering from surgery, you don't typically do that. Hibiclens. This is something that most people have before surgery. Sometimes people throw it out after surgery. I would suggest that you keep it and continue to wash your incisions with it. But just like your incisions. But also, I got my surgery in August, right? So I was afraid of getting some type of bacterial infection in a fat roll or somewhere. So if that's a concern, using Hibiclens is a really good way to combat any type of bacteria like that. Another thing that helped me immensely, shopping and delivery services. Yes. So the day before surgery, it was payday, right? So I had to pick up all the crap that I needed to hibernate for the next month. Not the next month, but for the next 2 weeks in my apartment, right? So I had ordered. I am not a typical Walmart shopper. I try to avoid Walmart at all costs. But Walmart offered everything that I needed, and it was a one-stop shop. So now my local Walmart offers a grocery pickup service. So I ordered everything I needed online. And I did not have to even go through the store. All I had to do was park my car at the special parking spaces allotted for Walmart grocery pickup. And someone came out to my car. They loaded my car up, and I was good to go. That was amazing. I feel like if I would have went to Walmart by myself, I would have probably just gotten frustrated because I wouldn't have been able to find what I needed, and I would have ended up not getting a lot of things that I needed. I'm not the kind of person that likes to stop at multiple places. So there's that. Another service that really helped me a lot was Instacart. About 2 weeks after surgery. Yes. So I had miscalculated the length of my liquid diet post-surgery. So I did not have enough Greek yogurt. I didn't have enough Jell-O, sugar-free Jell-O. I didn't have enough sugar-free pudding. And I was not about to get dressed and go drive to the store and get it. So thank God for Instacart. So I was able to order the things that I needed on Instacart. Someone delivered it to my front door. It was amazing. And I know I also used, what is the service called? Uber Eats, or was it DoorDash? One of those two. It was either Uber Eats or DoorDash. And I got miso soup from my local Japanese restaurant. And that was a lifesaver. It's really important to have variety in your diet because you will get very tired of shakes, Jell-O, all kinds of stuff. Chicken broth. So like miso soup was amazing at that point. So yeah. Alcohol wipes. What do you need alcohol wipes for? Nobody told me this. Alcohol wipes are helpful when you get out of the hospital because you're covered in like adhesive surgical tape. So anywhere where you had an IV and you were taped, or if you have steri strips on your incisions. After the first week, I had my incisions taken out, and then steri strips were put on them. So after those came off, alcohol wipes were also useful to just get off that sticky tape residue because it's gross, and soap and water wasn't really cutting it. Another thing that helped me was this pill crusher. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I would advise you to consult your doctor. Not all pills can be crushed because I know the bariatric stomach can't digest all pills the way that it should or that it used to. So just make sure you talk to your doctor about crushing and grinding your pills just to get them in. It's funny because I was speaking with the nutritionist after surgery, and she was like, all your pills are supposed to be in liquid form. And I'm just like looking at her like, well, they're not. None of them actually are in a liquid form. Even like none of them. Even right out of the hospital, they weren't in liquid form, you know? So, and I've heard other people say this too. It's like some people on your team expect you to be taking liquid medications, and ideally you should, but 9 times out of 10, you don't get liquid medications. So, this pill crusher came in handy, and it's stainless steel. Uh, it cleans very easily, and it was very useful. So those are the things that helped me after vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and I hope that this helps you to know and to figure out what choices and options you have so that you too can have a great recovery, minimal problems, and look forward to living the rest of your life. Thanks.